Welcome to another episode of Spicy Tales Podcast with Kim and Stacy.
We're back.
We're back.
We get to take a little hiatus,
Yeah, I had to.
just a tiny one.
Yeah.
If you know why, you know why. If you
Yeah.
don't, mind your business. It doesn't concern you. But if you know,
We back.
we've been going through some historical events.
Honestly, the past 3 years, like,
Bruh, I'm actually
one
sick-
after the other,
I am
after the
sick
other.
and tired of living through historical events. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Like, I almost said some dramatic shit. Like, oh, I understand what Rosa Parks was going through, but like, clearly, I'm just doing the most. Like, clearly, like,
The modern day Rosa Parks.
that's what I feel like.
Interesting.
I didn't give up my seat, but I mean, I didn't like have to give up my seat or
No,
anything.
we
but
really didn't do much. We've protested.
yeah,
Did
protested.
the Black Lives Matter.
Yep.
Obviously, we went through a pandemic. And yeah, now this
last
thing.
historical thing,
Yeah.
which we literally cannot talk about on this
Yeah,
podcast,
we cannot.
just because we'd all like to,
But we getting money now.
we get money, Arab money.
All right, so I'm gonna talk about my spicy tale. This happened.
No.
My sister is highly involved. I'm barely involved in this, but was directly involved later on. But basically, in junior high, in grade 7, I met this girl, and literally, like, since day 1, we hit it off. This girl was my best friend.
She was nice.
She was with me. We were together all the time. We did everything
Yeah, she even
together.
came to our summer camp.
We went to summer camp together. I would sleep over. She would come over. Like, we were very, very close. So that's just 1 year, best friend. And then it must have been the second year in grade
Definitely.
8. I don't know. I forget when it happened, but Kim, take it away.
So
This is my best friend at the time. Let me
what
just
had
repeat
happened
that.
was her friend was talking shit, and then she ate shit because she was talking shit. No, okay. Basically, she was dating a really good friend of mine, which was whatever. Like, he was a really good friend of mine, whatever. And then, you know how junior high school goes, rumors start getting spreaded, and
But what?
basically, I don't remember exactly what the rumor was, but I had heard that she was talking shit about me. And I was like,
Why?
because she's a fucking little bitch, that's why.
And I don't know why she would talk shit about you because, like I said, she was my best friend. Obviously, we're sisters.
Yeah, like, I liked
I'd been
her.
with-
She's
She's been around us so many times. She supped over everything. I'm telling you,
like,
this girl was.
her mom was good friends with our mom too.
Yeah.
Like, she was
There was
chill.
no reason for her to be talking shit about my sister.
100%. So she started talking shit, and then good old Billings Bridge. We're at Billings Bridge. I'm minding my business. I'm with my friends, and I happen to see her, and I'm like, okay, let's resolve shit. Like, our families are close. You're best friends with my sister. Like, I'm gonna go up to her and talk to her. I go up to her to talk to her, and I literally am like, okay, like, let's talk about whatever. And she is like on one. Like, I don't know if it's because she was with her little fucking ratchet ass little friends or whatever, but she's just like animated, like in my face.
Oh, also that in grade 8, she did kind of change, and she did get close to like this other girl who was ratchet as hell, and like me and her weren't as close anymore. So
Yeah, so like she just started getting in my face, and then she pushed me, and I was like, oh, hell no. So she pushed me, I punched her, and I was with my freaking Haitian girlfriends, and they swarmed
oh god.
like cockroaches. They swarmed. And yeah, we beat her up. And then OC Transpo Police came. She was giving them mad attitude. I was complying. I was being very respectful because I'm very respectful to authority. And I got let off with a warning, and I was told that I have to keep the peace, and then they took away her bus pass.
Oh wow. And the worst thing is, like, I have no idea this is happening. I don't even know how I found out, but
I'm
like,
pretty sure I told you when I came home.
and I was like, no. Like, literally anyone but her, but she started it. So
Also, she started it, and then I got a beating by mom. because mom's like, why are you fighting? Blah, 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 blah. Only for us to go to her house
Yeah, we
because
went to her house.
her mom wanted to talk to me and
Yep.
like she wanted us to solve it. So we went to her house only for her to finally admit that she hit me first. And her mom was like, yeah, like I would have fought you too if you pushed me. Like, and mom was like, oh. I was like, yeah.
Anyways,
You hear that, Mom?
after
You
that,
hear that? I know you're listening. You owe me an apology.
after that, like it just fell apart. Like we were already not as close, but after I remember that time where we went to her place and like the whole family got together to talk about it, but it just wasn't the same after that. And then on top of that, we had moved to Canada, so like I had like begged my mom to stay in St. Pat's for one more year when I should have been in Canada, and then the next year, grade 9, I went to Trinity, and like that was it. Our friendship was over. After that, it was done. So that's how I lost.
She
one
wasn't
of
your
my
friend
best
anyways. Fuck that bitch. 10 on that shit. 10 toes.
Okay, stop. This was literally like
I'm just kidding. I'm totally over it. I actually
15
don't care.
Years ago.
I think I was 15
I think it
when
was
I
like
was 15 when
16 years ago or something. Yeah, it was.
I
A
was
while
15
ago.
because it was no, actually I was 16.
Yeah, so
I was
would've been
16 because you were 14, yeah.
So, but yeah, that's how I lost one of my best friends. My
Oh,
sister bought her.
whatever.
My sister fought
First of all,
her.
you had already lost her. She was going down a rabbit hole.
She
And
really
then
was.
After that, she got beat up again after that. Not by me though, by another friend of mine. She got her ass
Yeah,
whooped.
she did have
She
like
had a lot of problems.
She was a talker, and she probably did try to fight, but like you
Nah.
said, she got sworn.
One of my friends, okay, well, we're not friends anymore, but at the time we were really good friends and she fucking bottled her at a party.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like she ran her mouth too much.
She really did.
I mean, if there's one thing I know about the girls in this city, they throw hands. They'll throw hands.
Well, at least the Haitians.
The Southside girls will throw hands any day on site. They don't care.
I'm just trying to think at Trinity if there were fights. I feel like I
don't think
missed
so.
out on a lot of the fights. The best one were the girl fights, but I definitely heard of obviously there were guy fights.
My favorite was when Raph beat up this guy because he was wearing an Africa shirt.
Oh no. Speaking
Like I was
of,
a douche though, so whatever.
I went to Joey's on Friday and they were playing strictly Afro beats.
Oh, I love
Like
that.
strictly Afro beats, which is so crazy because literally like not a couple years ago, but like 4 years ago, pre-pandemic, that just wouldn't be a thing. I remember when I would go to Montreal clubs and they would put me onto so many Afro beats, so much like French music. And then I would come to Ottawa clubs and they would never play Afro beats, maybe one song. And then like now it's like Afro beats is being shoved down everyone's throats, which I'm happy because it's great.
As it should, it's fire.
And like, being African, being black is trendy and shit. But like I was dying
Love
because
how you said being black is trendy.
it's
Oh,
trendy. I
okay.
mean shit, like I was dying because I was telling my friends how like at this point, like white people definitely are gonna be like, you can't tell me I'm not black. I can sing every Burna Boy song.
Tiff, look what you did.
Like the white people are black now because they know Afrobeats. This one,
Apparently, that's all you need to get your black card. Just
Wizkid,
sing 5.
Thames,
yeah.
Burna Boy,
5 Burna
Davido.
Boy songs.
You're good.
Davido, freaking Thames. You're in.
You
You're
are
part of Cool in the Gang.
You really are.
You're in.
Anyways,
You're invited to the cookout if you can name 10 Afrobeat songs
or artists.
or artists. You can come to the cookout.
There's actually an Afro Fest in Miami. I put it on my calendar, May 27 weekend. We're not going.
Okay, because I don't know why.
First of all, I don't have money anymore.
Thanks to those historical events.
Yeah, so like I'm broke as hell. Was scared that I had to dip into my emergency fund, which this is the first time ever where I was literally like, if I actually have, first of all, the fact that I have it to dip into, the savings to dip into, I was like,
Shocking.
That's blessed. Second of all, thank God I don't have a baby or a house, because even the pandemic, like people losing their jobs and whatever, like the pandemic didn't really affect me other than the fact that I couldn't go out. But like I was saving.
Oh,
I was making
thriving
money.
I was thriving
So
through the
like
pandemic. I went to Colombia.
exactly.
Saved a ton of money. It was
Imagine the pandemic didn't happen. Like I don't know if you would have had that money. But actually, you guys
great.
got something again. So.
You'll be part of that. You'll be part of that.
But yeah, I was just scared that I would have to go into the emergency fund, but I didn't have to.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I also didn't have to dip into my, which was shocking because I really thought I was going to.
Oh, an update on my freaking Equifax.
Oh yeah, they
credit
came for
shit.
her. They're finessing her.
Oh my, I can't deal. So today my boyfriend, it always stems from my boyfriend, I swear. So he checked his credit score, and then I was just like, ugh, I need to call. Like, I'm one of those people that does not like calling, like, the bank, like, getting a refund. Like, I'm the type of person that if I buy clothes online and they don't fit me, I'm not returning it. I'm keeping it in my closet and I don't care. Like, it doesn't fit me and it's just gonna rot in my closet. I don't care. I'm not going through the trouble of shipping it back to get my $30. I'm not doing it. Whereas my boyfriend, he's getting, like, he one time opened this fruit, like it was a jackfruit or something, and it was like, it just looked wrong, like something looked bad, and he got it from Freshco, and they have like a guarantee, like if it's not fresh you can bring it back. He brought it back.
Oh no, I was not doing all that. I would have thrown that shit out.
He brought it back. So today he calls Equifax, whatever. He wants to get his credit report, a detailed credit report. And then he's just like, oh, whatever happened to like your credit score? Like, did you ever follow up to see why it was at what it is? And I'm like, no, but what happened also at the same time when I got my free credit score was I started getting this charge of like $20.95 from Equifax to my credit card. And then so I called them and I'm like, what is this? And they're like, we don't see this charge on our end. And I'm like, what the hell? And they're like, okay, you're gonna have to fill out this dispute form and show us like your banking transactions. So I send it to them. A month later, they haven't messaged me back. My boyfriend calls them. He's just like, you should call them back. So I call them. The first person, first of all, I wait, they answer, I give them all my information, I tell them my whole situation, which is like a good 5 minutes, puts me on hold.
And hangs up.
Not even that. Puts me on hold, then the survey gets triggered, so I already know what's gonna happen. Like, you only get asked to survey if it's the end of the call.
Yeah.
And it's asking me how this agent did.
They did terribly. The fuck?
And then they're like, oh, like, can you summarize the call? So I summarized the call saying, like, I'm literally still in the call. Hangs up on me, obviously, because it's the fucking end of the call. I was so pissed. So I call again, and I'm just, the second person, though, I'm so happy I got the second person because they were so good. And they basically, we found out that, like, it's a fraud transaction and someone is using my credit card to fund their freaking Equifax subscription, so I have to call my bank and cancel my credit card, which is so freaking annoying. So once I pay for this podcast, I need to cancel my fucking credit card. Like, it's just so stupid. I hate anything customer service related. It's so annoying. And I've had like a fraudulent transaction on my credit card like years ago when I friggin' tried to get my Canada Goose jacket for $200.
Like, even I knew that was a scam. Like, ma'am.
And once I got that, then there was like random transactions, and I had to cancel my credit card, and now I have to cancel my credit card, which I just got in December. He's just like, has anyone else No one has my information.
Yeah.
Why are you guys charged? Why is someone getting their credit score reports monthly off of me?
Literally off the back of Stacy. Apparently, if you need an Equifax subscription to snag her credit card, she doesn't. Bro, this has been happening since March. It's like May, and she's just now calling about
Honestly,
it.
I saw that.
Okay,
so I disputed the March one, and I saw the April one like mid-April, and I was literally like, this is how I deal with my life. I saw it, and I'm like, I'm dealing with this later.
Bro, you're wilding out.
And now I'm like, Oh my God, the May one is literally coming up the 8th.
Oh my God, you're actually doing
And the guy, even the Equifax guy is like, you need to cancel your credit card.
I literally, so I have like a, what's it called? The TD thing that like,
Easy Web?
no, not the Easy Web, the save thing that tells you how much money you're spending.
Yeah, the spending thing.
Yeah, the
Spend
TD
tracker.
My Spend.
Yeah.
So the second I see bro, the other day I was literally like, a few months ago, I was sitting in my bed and I saw like 2 transactions back to back come out. And I was like, that's not me. I called right away, cancel that shit, return my money. Like, I don't play those games with my money. Like, I don't care. You're out here just wilding
I guess
out.
I'm happy that it's on my credit card because I feel like it's easier to dispute things on your credit card than it is on your checking account.
I don't give a damn. I'm disputing some.
So yeah, I need to call TD, which is gonna be a whole other process, but whatever. I'm gonna get $40 back. So
Yeah. So how was your weekend?
well, once the historical event happened on Friday, I went to Joey's and hung out with friends. Late as hell, because with Joey's lands down, I'm surprised they even do reservations, because I feel like back in the day they didn't even take reservations. That's how poppin' that location is.
Yeah.
But the 2 times were 4:15 or 9:15.
Oh my God.
4:15 is so early and 9:15 is so late. So
4:15. What are you, like 73 years old? Have to freaking make sure your teeth are in their freaking little cup at the end. Like,
remember Grandma?
I miss her. R.I.P.
I had to clean that shit. I remember that little like circle thing that you would put in, and it would clean the dentures. Disgusting.
It is.
And just like her putting her teeth in and out. Like, please stop.
I actually miss her so much.
Oh my God, I miss her. Yeah, so that, and then there was also the Rito one. There's a Rito land,
the Rito
Joey. That we reserved for 8:15, but it's not as poppin' of a location. I guess it kind of is.
I was gonna say it's not.
Because it's downtown,
Yeah.
but like the Lansdowne one, I don't know. I just prefer the Lansdowne one. And we had just, the last time we went to a Joey, it was the Rito one, so we went to the Lansdowne one. And then after that, I've been watching my boyfriend play this game called Skyrim on his PS5, and it literally it's a throwback because it's so similar to the game Zelda.
Which one?
Like Ocarina of Time, I guess, or like just honestly, and Majora's Mask, any of them really. Well, not any of them, because some of them are like whack.
Yeah, like the new one, like the
Skyward Sword and those things. Like,
yeah, like Windbreaker.
Yeah, like ain't nobody got time for those ones. And Zelda looks weird in those ones, but yeah, it's like a storyline. There's side quests, all that kind of stuff. So I've been watching him play, and it just reminds me of back in the day when me, you, my brother would play, or my brother's dad, because my brother's dad got us into Zelda.
Yeah, he did.
And
he got us in the video games. And,
no, not, but those kind of video games.
Like the fantasy games and shit.
And my mom would just watch us play, and we'd always be like, first of all, she'd be like a backseat player.
Oh.
So she'd be like, why don't you check into that?
Why don't you check that?
Why don't you fight him like this? And we're just like, how about you play? And then she's just like, no, I just want to watch. That's literally me now. I'll piss my boyfriend off so much. Like, he'll be dying, and I'm like, take your potion, like, heal yourself. And he's just like, okay, can you stop?
First of all, shut the hell up.
But then sometimes I actually help him. Like, sometimes he just doesn't see things, and I'm like, you missed that chest over there, and he's just like, oh, okay, thank you. So yeah, I've been really, it's so nice.
Honestly,
just watching
I
him
really
play.
wish I could find the Majora's Mask that goes into the 64.
Yeah,
because I have a Nintendo 64 at the house, and
you could. I don't know where.
I feel like I could probably order it on Amazon, but I think it's like $70. And I'm like,
trash.
I'm not really out here trying to spend $70. I could probably go to a pawn shop and find.
Or yeah, there's a bunch of game shops that you can definitely find them. I just don't know how much it would cost, because
depending on where. Yeah.
So yeah, I've been doing that. What about you? What did you do this weekend?
I went to a funeral. My grandfather on my dad's side passed away, so
R.I.P.
R.I.P. I saw a lot of my cousins, my siblings.
Honestly, I was jealous when I saw the pictures. I'm like,
everyone was anyone who knows my sister and I don't have the same dad. So, but my entire dad's side of the family, this is like she's.
I know
another-
your dad's side of the family way better than I know my.
Yeah, like
side of
even
the
my
family.
dad was asking where you were. Like
Oh.
everyone was asking where you were. Definitely a lot of family drama.
Always at funerals, weddings. I feel like at
Honestly-
funerals is the worst.
You can't go to a Haitian funeral without somebody screaming,
Screaming,
throwing themselves on the
yeah.
ground. Like they're just somebody's gonna take
siblings talking shit about each other.
siblings fighting. Like I'm watching my aunts and uncle like argue. I was just like,
Couldn't
y'all
be.
are grown, but like whatever. And like yeah, my dad is very much not into drama. Like he just doesn't.
I feel like he's just living his own life.
yeah, like he
He's not
just
involved.
doesn't really care to get involved. He doesn't care to like he just doesn't want nothing to do with it. So he was just like walking out as the drama was going on. So that was nice.
Chilling with your siblings.
Yeah, I got to see a couple of my siblings, which was nice. A bunch of my cousins, some nieces and nephews. Actually, nephews, because they're all boys. All the grandkids are boys.
Even my boyfriend, his sister has two boys. His brother's having a boy. They don't have girls in their
Yeah, like my older cousin has 2 boys, and then my younger cousin has 1 boy. So the 3 of them were just wilding out. I was just like, I can't. Like, first of all, my cousin's oldest is a junior, so he's like his junior,
Ugh.
and he is literally the exact same. I was like, you're literally your dad. Like,
Ugh.
it's like a mini him, and they both look like him.
Crazy.
They're so fucking cute.
I bet they are.
So much attitude, but they're so cute. It's like, I'm like, can I have a hug? So the youngest one was like crying for his mom, and she was like, the poor lady, she just wanted a freaking break. So she went for a walk. So I'm like, okay, let me help you look for your mom. And then afterwards, she ended up coming back, and then I sent her inside to go find her, and he comes outside. I'm like, can I have a hug? He's like, no, because you didn't help me find my mom. I'm like, but I looked for her with you for like 20 minutes. Like, yeah, but we didn't find her. I was like, nigga, if you don't fuck out of here.
Kids have so
Oh,
much attitude.
so rude.
Honestly, because I'm not really around kids, but my boyfriend has 2 nephews, and I was with them in March, and they're so crazy. One is 12 and one is 8. And they like the fighting. I'm just like, is that how me and my sister
I don't
were?
think we were that bad.
But like also like the youngest always wanting to be around the oldest, and the oldest is just like, get away from
literally,
me.
that's exactly. At one point, the youngest one was like, I can't find him. And I'm like, he's like, why does he want me around? I'm trying to play my game. I was like, oh my God, you guys are.
Because the age gap, like when you're that young, those differences in years are so huge.
Yeah, it's true.
Like 12 and 8 years old, like we're not in the same, like we're going through completely different things. Like you're hella childish.
We're only 2 years. Don't fucking kill me. We're only 2 years apart. And even like when I was in 6th grade and she wanted to play with me all the time, I was like, bro, get out of here.
Yeah, like I'm in 4th grade. I'm
like,
you're
we're not-
basically going through puberty, and
Literally.
I'm like a child.
I was in 5th grade. She was in 3rd. We weren't even in the same fucking yard. And this one wanted to come hang out. Like, leave me alone. Like, I see you at home. She's like talking to me from one half of the freaking, like, get out of here. Like, leave me alone.
But it's cute when like siblings do look out for each other, because you'll just see how
Oh, yeah. I'll fight anyone. for my
exactly
sister.
like you do end up just having their back. And I saw his older nephew being like, oh, like I want to wait for my younger brother, and I'm just like, oh. And even when they just do the cutest thing, like the youngest one he has got a lot of energy, he's wild and free, but sometimes when he's just not doing that and he just comes up to you and gives you a hug out of nowhere, you're just like, oh my God, this is the most adorable thing ever.
Yeah, it's definitely fun being an auntie. Like,
Yeah, because then you can
being an auntie is great. Like, I definitely was out here helping the nephews out here wilding out. They were playing soccer in the back, and they threw, like, my oldest one freaking kicked the ball over to somebody else's yard. And they're like, well, all the older people are like, you're not going to go get the ball, blah, blah. Yo, I freaking hooped him up. He went over, grabbed the ball. There's like all this like vines all over. Me and my sister are like pulling him over. My sister had to end up climbing on top, like going over to her to help him. And she's like, fuck, I broke my shoe. I'm like, I would have fucking left him.
That's the thing. Kids will make you do the craziest thing. Like, again, when I was with my boyfriend's nephew, I had to walk up this huge hill. I was like playing in the snow. We went sledding. I'm like, wow, I haven't like played in so long. And I'm just like, and everything they do, they just do before even thinking of it. Whereas me, I'm just like, like my ankle's busted. Like I can't go as fast anymore. But them, they'll just do a cartwheel out of nowhere.
Bro,
like,
I won't even go on a roller coaster.
You're whack.
Oh, no, I won't. I don't think my heart could take it. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, even the fair, like, bro, after I hit like 27, nah. I can't wait. First of all, going on one of those like fair roller coaster, wake up, my back hurts.
Well, also I've seen so many videos recently of like a fair ride breaking down.
Yeah, like that poor kid that fell off the fucking ride and died.
That's sad. That's sad. And because it could have been prevented. And then, but I went to La Ronde like a couple years ago, and then I go to Calypso. I didn't go to Calypso last summer, but I went to Calypso the summer before, and there was actually one slide that I didn't do because I was so scared, and I'm like, wow,
I feel like after 27, you start to be more aware of your mortality. Like I know that I cannot handle certain things. Like first of all, I'm afraid of heights already. Like
I'm afraid of heights.
I'll still do things because I don't want to let my fear of heights limit me from like having. Yeah, like I want to be able to have a good time, which is why I did roller coasters in the first place. Because I've always been afraid of them. Mm-hmm. But now that I'm older, I'm like I'm just good. Like I'm good. Like it's fine.
Well, I don't want to go on a roller coaster. When I went out with my friends on Friday, we were just talking about all the things that we used to do back in the day and just didn't think of it. Like we just didn't care. Like we would get in a car with strangers. Like we didn't care.
The amount of times I've gotten into cars with strangers.
Oh my God.
Like, and you would think, you know that movie Riding in Cars with Boys with Drew Barrymore?
No.
And she gets pregnant at like 14.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, you would think seeing a movie like that would teach you better. No, my mom told me my whole life don't get in a car with strangers.
It's just different when it's you. You really feel invincible when you're younger. I don't know what that's all. It's the frontal lobe not developed. That's what that is. But like
the underdeveloped frontal lobe just out here wilding out.
I feel like I was wilding out up until 27.
Yeah, I said 27. Yeah. I'm telling you, up until 27. Up until 27, I was out here wilding out. Like just doing the craziest things. Now I'm like, but like I'm a ride or die, but like I want to know where we're going, what time are we gonna be home? If it's dangerous, and I might step out. I'm out. Like
I don't know what. Well, also I turned 28 when the pandemic started, so that really just.
Yeah, also the pandemic definitely gave me more social anxiety. Like I'm very much more like I have a hard time going to like bars and stuff now just because like also like there's been a lot of crime in the city. Like
there are
shootings.
I saw on Ottawa News on Instagram that there was 3 different shootings within like the past 5 days or something.
Yeah, like that's Chicago numbers and I don't like it.
Okay. But yeah,
for Ottawa, that's considered Chicago numbers. That is not okay.
And it's usually, or even just like the homicides of like them finding some random person in the woods or some random person in someone's house.
Like
I don't know what's going on with people. I don't know if like it's crazier now than it was back then, but
I also feel like maybe because social media is so much more like
prevalent that we just see it more.
We see it more, but at the same time, like I don't know, like even though it's not here, like even the mass shootings, like during there's like
there's like there's a girl that has been through like 2 mass shootings and she's like 19 years old.
Yeah, like they're just people driving their freaking cars in the crowds of people, like all that shit. Like, bro, Everyone's are unhinged.
Going crazy.
People are unhinged. People are losing it.
Therapy. No, but everyone needs to refill their medication.
Yeah, but people can't go to therapy when the wait list is like 6 months long. Like,
most people
they can't afford it.
Don't even think that they need
benefits.
therapy.
First of all, Gen X and the Boomers boomers, they're not even out here trying to do therapy.
They're not doing therapy.
They're like, oh, you're in therapy? You're weak, bro. No, I just don't want to be like you.
If we were depressed, we didn't have time to be depressed. We had to work.
Literally, I walked for miles just to get to school, bro.
Just to get paid $16.16 an hour. I'm like,
no, you didn't.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I bought my first house when I was 21. Yeah, it cost $16 and a pack of gum. Get the fuck out of here. Like, the fuck.
Oh, also, I've been talking to my dad weekly.
Which is shocking.
So usually he texts me first, but like, last week he just randomly called me, and I'm just like, wow, it's so crazy just seeing like dad pop up on your phone and being like, oh, hey, how are you? And he's just telling me stories about him when he was younger and him and mom. And I was just like, I literally thought of, wow, I wonder what life would have been like if they just had stayed together.
It would have been hectic.
But he did say that mom was very, like, she's such a strong woman and she's very nurturing, and like he was lucky to be with her. And I'm like, you know what? The fact that you're saying this 30 years later, respect. But then when I talked to mom, she was just like, anyways.
Yeah, my dad also made a comment about me not reaching out to him. I was like, didn't know you wanted me to.
Yeah, so, maybe we'll have, in our 30s, we're going to have relationships with our dads.
I mean, I'm not opposed to having I love my dad. Like, my dad is fun. Like, he's a fun time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's hilarious. Like, he's always cracking jokes. Definitely trolled me at the funeral, which was jokes.
And my dad was saying how, like, Nana and Grandma didn't like my dad, but they loved your dad.
They love
And then I was talking to mom, and she's just like, yeah, like, Kim's dad, he's just very charming.
Yeah, like, signs of a sociopath. Like,
he's
love
not
him, but like,
he might not necessarily be a good person, but he's a very charming man.
Very charming. He's a great time to be around. He's fun. Like, he's a good time. You just don't want to be around him when he's angry.
Imagine being like 16 and that's your first boyfriend.
Mom, like, craziness.
Like the good here for a good time, not a long time guy.
That's literally my dad. Although he's been here for a long time because he's 50. He's turning 53.
Yeah, but like with her.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. There was a point where my parents tried to get back together, and I don't know why.
Well, there was a point where my parents tried to get back together too.
Mom's just out here trying to get.
Oh my god!
They're like they love my mom. They
always come back.
They love mom.
Any girl listening to this, don't even bother with him because he's gonna come back anyway.
They always come back. Trust me, I know.
Whoever's stressing about this guy, he hasn't messaged me, whatever, like, it's fine. Just talk to someone else because trust and believe. Even if it's 2 years from now, you're going to open your DMs and he's going to be
there. He is. I swear men have like this like alarm that goes off inside them when they know that the girl they used to like fuck with is happy.
Well, like, especially like the fuckboy ones. Those are the worst. Those are the ones that really always come back. And those are the ones that girls tend to always stress about because we're dumb.
Yeah, because why would you stress about a good guy? There's nothing to stress about. Emotionally mature men don't make you stress because there's nothing to stress about. It's the fuckboys. It's the red flags.
And if anything, the good guys actually stress you out only because they're challenging you to be a better person. And you're just like, I'm not used to this shit. Like, let me go with someone that's worse than me so I can feel better about myself.
Honestly, deadass, low key.
That's what it is. Girls love projects because they don't like to admit when they're wrong. They don't like to acknowledge anything wrong about them.
Facts,
so
honestly.
They just go for the most
if I date a piece of crap, I am the better of the two.
It's true.
Therefore, there's no room for me to improve. But you got nothing but improvements, and I love to point that shit out.
Fuckboys will always be like, you're too good for me.
100%.
Like, don't wait for me. Like, I don't want you waiting. Like, I'm bad for you. I'm bad. Like, and the worst thing is they'll tell you straight up, like, I'm bad news. Like, don't wait for me. And then the girls just
like,
waiting.
I can change him.
Like, you know the meme of the skeleton just waiting? Like, that's women.
You know the Steve Wilkos show, and he's like, this is your man. Yes.
Yeah.
Look at the screen.
Some rat.
That's mine, and I'm stick beside him. Like those are the girls. Like they're sticking beside that guy.
We need to get our lives together. If you're a woman in your 30s, actually, if you're a woman in your 20s, because that's really when you should stop messing with these guys. but it's so much fun at the time.
Oh,
You're
it's
just like,
lit.
the emotional roller coasters. Yeah, the lows are lows, but the highs are so high. Like,
Oh my God. The best is when they're like, yeah, I haven't talked to him in a week because he blocked me. And then all of a sudden you're out clubbing with your friend and she's like,
all
he just-
happy.
she's
Or
like
all of a
smiling.
sudden,
And I'm like, what's up? She's like, he just told me to drop a pin. He's coming to get me.
he's coming.
I'm like, the
I've
fuck?
been that girl that I'm chilling with my friends and literally this guy messages me and then all of a sudden
out.
I gotta go, guys. I gotta go.
You know that meme-
Sorry.
You know the Homer in the freaking bush when he's going back, or the guy
Like,
that's like this, and then he starts to
the
fade
way
out?
these guys have girls in a chokehold, like
yeah.
wrapped around their fingers, they'll do anything for
Yep.
them.
Yep.
Like if you would just put all of that effort into a good man,
Oh my
your
God.
life would be so much happier.
Facts. I think we all know friends who have been
Oh
in
my
relationships that
God.
you're like, ma'am. I mean, I have been friends.
I've
who has
been
been-
as well.
Yeah. And all your friends are like, he's a loser. And I'm like, but I love him. And then like you break up, you're like, I don't know what I was thinking. You're like, why didn't anyone tell me he was a loser? We did.
We did.
We
We've
did.
been telling
We
you.
told you
and then
from
next
day
thing
one.
you know, mid sentence, he's messaging you.
And I'm like, I'm never talking to.
Like, you know, it's crazy when you're like triple texting them, like you don't care, you're spamming them, or like, yeah, you're constantly on your phone, pissed off that anyone else is messaging you but them.
Ugh, good.
Or you send a thirst trap out and every other guy is messaging you but them.
Or everyone else has seen it but them. Why haven't you watched my story? It's hour 23, my guy. Like, let's
only
go,
have 12
bro.
more minutes.
I'm like, oh my God, now I gotta repost it. But like, I can't repost it. Like, everyone will know. Like, ugh.
And then there's that side guy that's literally like messaging you all the time, like, let's hang out, like, let's go out to dinner. And you're just like, ugh, please.
Literally,
just
like,
stop.
just with pure disgust.
And you're just like,
ugh.
stop. It's like, can I take you
decided.
out? And it's just like, stop it. It's so bad. Like the toxic cycle that people are in is just sick. I can't with the dating scene right
Ugh, it's
now.
so
It's been bad
ratchet.
for a while though.
It's a cesspool.
It's so
Anyone out
bad.
here in the dating pool,
Honestly, I blame like the
my
generation
heart goes
before
out
us.
before.
Yes, I blame mom. I feel like the ratchetness started coming like the generation before us.
I mean, facts, because our grandmothers was out here holding down men in those moo dresses.
Yeah, like somewhere between you being born in like 1920s and you being born in the 1960s, something went wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's probably women working and like having rights, which is so bad to say, but like let's be real, I feel like it's kind of linked to the feminist movement. 'Cause
Okay, so now
obviously
fuck boys are women's fault.
It started good. Obviously, the women were fighting for rights to vote and
or to even be
work and
represented
equal
as
pay.
people.
But then women wanted to step on men's necks. After a while, they were just like, you know what? I don't think this is enough. Like you will talk to a woman right now,
Every
and they will be
feminist
like,
in the world
they
is
will be like, we're
shaking in their
oppressed.
boots right now.
It's like we're oppressed, and it's like we're the least oppressed we've ever been ever in the history of the world. What are you talking about? We're not oppressed. We're not. We're just not.
we're black women, so like we don't get to have the same
Listen,
experience, but
even as a black woman, I personally don't feel oppressed at all. I
mean
don't.
facts. But
Like,
I mean,
I work, I
okay,
make
but
good
to
money.
be fair, we live in Canada. Like,
And-
if I lived
and-
in the
well,
States, I might feel
and I'm-
differently.
Even in the States, I'm sorry, anywhere in the Western.
No, I say in the States because in the States, like a crazy amount of like pregnant black women don't make it through don't make it
Okay,
through
yes, of
things
course,
like that. Like they
of
don't even make it
course,
through giving
I
birth.
agree.
A higher number
They're at
of
the
black
higher
women,
risk.
if they fucking
I
go missing, nobody
agree.
cares. Like
I agree 100%.
black women are being murdered at a crazy level, like numbers in the States. That's what I'm talking about. By like,
I mean, so are men could say the same. You don't think men are getting murdered at a higher rate than women are?
black men, 100%.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like
I'm not
it's
saying. I'm
it's
just
not.
saying
It's not
that-
women, obviously, there are things that we like. We have privileges and we have disadvantages.
for sure.
100%, and so do men. Honestly, let's be real. A woman's life is easier than a man's life. I personally believe
But to
this.
certain but depending on where you live, that's what I mean.
Yes, I'm talking about in the States and Canada. Like, it's just a fact. Like, women in Saudi Arabia are
Or
having
women in Africa or in India
a
or
whole
whatever.
different experience
Well,
than
yeah,
a
100%.
Canadian black woman. I'm sorry.
100%.
Like, I'm so much more privileged than a woman in Saudi Arabia.
That's
So,
facts. I mean, our cousin's in Saudi Arabia living her best life, but
yeah, and the worst thing is she's living her best life. Can you imagine? It's a woman in Saudi Arabia living her best life. Wow.
shout out
there
to
we go.
Cynthia.
Point
I know she
proven.
watches this, so shout out. We're talking about you,
She
girl.
is living her best life in that's literally point proven. She's living her best life, obviously, because she's with like a great man, and you know they got it like that. Thank God.
Thank God.
Because if they didn't have it like that, I would not let her go to Saudi Arabia.
I don't think any of the family would have let them. Been like, you're not going nowhere.
Jesus. Yeah. So I'm sorry. I remember your friend Paige.
Yeah.
We were at a party and like the guys were talking to her, and even my boyfriend was talking to her, and they were just she was talking about women being oppressed, and then they were just like, hey, but do you honestly feel like you're oppressed? And she's like, no. I'm fighting for all the other women. And I'm like, yeah,
Paige,
let's
get
be
outta
real,
here.
guys. We're not oppressed.
Listen, if there's one thing about Paige, she gonna fight the fight. It doesn't matter whose fight, she's gonna help fight the fight.
We're so not oppressed that
We're looking for other fights.
entertain fuckboys, like, because we're bored with our
We're so
lives.
unoppressed
That's how,
that we're just
like,
looking for reasons to argue
come on.
at this point. Like, I'm bored. I'm gonna start an argument. That's how unoppressed we are right now. Like, oh my God.
I don't gotta cook. I don't gotta clean. But I do. Listen, I cook now because, one, I should be feeding myself. Like, I should just be feeding myself. It's way too expensive to be eating out all the time.
Facts.
2, I clean. Well, I've cleaned all my life. Let's be real here. We always had to clean. There were like every weekend it was a cleaning day.
I swear our mom had kids just so she
Literally,
wouldn't have to clean,
though.
because that lady put us to work. I've been washing dishes since I was like 8 years old.
Oh my God. Honestly, I don't mind washing dishes.
Must be nice. I fucking hate that shit. It's like the one thing.
If you cook, I'll clean. I don't mind.
Fair. I'd rather cook than clean, so.
Anyways, let's end this episode before girls get mad at me.
Yeah, girls everywhere hate Stacey, because I was on y'all side.
Listen, I'm sure I'm not, unless I'm a girl too, okay? Trust and believe.
Stacey's
I know.
coming out here like that pearly bitch.
Oh no,
Pick me hoe.
pearly
Stacey.
things.
That's Stacey now.
No, that is not me. And you know what's so funny about the biggest thing that they say about her is like she's pandering, because first of all, she's pandering to the black community. Like, I don't know why her panels always have black people, because ever since Kevin Samuels died, she literally picked up right where he left off.
Picked up running.
She saw a huge opportunity and she picked that up. She's like the token white girl. And 2,
Don't fucking kill me.
she is such a hypocrite because she's the opposite of everything she stands for. She's single. She's a working woman. Like, you don't have where's your man? She comes from money, first of all. Like,
only people who come from money can have those kinds of opinions.
Like, she's so conservative, but yet, like, where's your husband? I'm pretty sure she's like 26.
I'm pretty sure I heard that she's starting a class to teach women how to get a husband.
Class. Yeah, I saw that too. And I'm like,
anyways, wrap this shit up. I can't talk about that bitch anymore. I'm not giving her no time. We're down. We're out.
All right. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcast, on Spicy Tales Podcast.
See you later.